Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my easy cooking channel tonight. Tonight I'm going to be making another Malaysian dish. Okay, it seems that I've gotten pretty popular with Malaysian people ever since making nasi lemak. Okay, and I've had some requests for a dish called Beef Rendang. And I've had about 6 or 7 requests for that dish. But last week I was contacted by a girl in Malaysia named Marsha Lim. And she said, "Why don't you make some beef rendang?" And I'll tell you the truth, if a pretty girl asks me to do anything, I'm gonna do it. Come to find out that as I've explored and researched Malaysian cuisine, it is quite simple, yet quite complex from its history where it comes from. Beef rendang is also called Rendang Daging, or Rendang Daging Padang, or Rendang Daging Minang, all of which are basically fairly similar recipes. But the dish itself made its way to Malaysia through the Minangkabau people of Indonesia, which I find rather interesting. So traditionally, beef rendang is an Indonesian dish that's made its way through places like Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, Burma, Thailand, and the Philippines. And each place makes it just a little bit different. So in my research through learning how to make Malaysian sambal and Malaysian curries, and Indian curries, I've come to a place where I'm ready to make beef rendang for you and beef rendang for Marsha. It's going to be a little bit different. Every country makes the beef rendang a little bit differently. Some adding some spices and herbs and some taking some out. The nifty thing about beef rendang is that the rendang process way back when was used as a matter of preserving beef for 4 to 6 weeks. Because what happens is when you cook the rendang in the coconut milk and herbs and spices and make it down dry, it becomes a preservative. Okay, so tonight we're going to be making beef rendang. Let's get going, and as usual with YouTube, I'll see you on the other side. Alright guys, one of the most important factors for making beef rendang curry, okay, is an important component: shredded coconut. Okay, and what I'm doing here is I am toasting some shredded coconut. In Malaysian or in Indonesian they call it kerisik. Okay, and this adds one of the best flavors to the curry itself. Now usually you would use unsweetened coconut, but I couldn't find any unsweetened coconut. Okay, so I decided to use sweetened coconut because the recipe itself calls for 1 to 2 tablespoons of either palm or brown sugar. So after tasting this coconut, I figured that for every cup of coconut in the bag, they're using at least 1 tablespoon of sugar. So at this point, I will use the sweetened coconut to make the kerisik. And after the kerisik is made and added to the curry, at a later time, I will taste the curry, and if it doesn't have the right measure of sweet at that time, I will add a little more sugar to balance out the heat to the sweet. So right now, I'm just going to keep on tossing this until the kerisik is nice and golden brown. Alright guys, here it is. This is kerisik, okay? I've toasted it to a nice dark golden brown, and I've turned off the heat, okay? And I'm just going to let the residual heat cook it a little bit more. It smells very fragrant. When you make the kerisik in the wok or in the pan, you don't need oil because the oil from the coconut will help it fry into this lovely golden brown consistency. So this is kerisik. I'm going to let this cool. I'm going to remove it from the wok, clean up the wok, and we're going to move on to the next step, which is making the curry paste or the rendang paste. Alright guys, now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make the rendang paste, or the curry paste. And into the blender go some shallots. Now I'm going to beat these down because I need the liquid from them. So, and to that we're going to add some garlic and some ginger. Okay. Chilies. Okay, now these chilies I've added were dried chilies that I took the tops off and I de-seeded. We're not using these chilies for heat, we're using these chilies for flavor. We're going to add some nuts. Now, I didn't have candle nuts and I didn't have hazelnuts, but I have some Thai chili lime nuts. I'm going to add that with some fennel, some ground coriander, some turmeric, and some cumin, and this will be the base of our curry paste. Alright, curry paste is basically done, and it smells fantastic. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of fish sauce, about 1.5, maybe 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Okay, and about a tablespoon of soy sauce. That's about right. And about a tablespoon of thick soy, which is a sweet soy, got a little bit of sugar in it. There we go. Good stuff. And then to that, I'm going to add a little bit of tamarind. Okay? About a tablespoon of tamarind paste. There it is. Okay? And we're going to continue blending this right now. And there it is, guys. Oh, smells lovely. This is our curry paste. Okay, our rendang paste. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and we're going to move on to the next step, and I'll see you here in a couple of minutes. Alright, now what we're doing here is we're heating up that spice paste. There we go. In about 5, maybe 6 tablespoons of some cooking oil. We're taking that rendang paste and we're going to heat it up. We're going to get it to cook up. Oh my God. This smells delicious. Oh my God. Alright. So we're going to heat this paste up for about a minute or so on medium high to high. Okay. To get it to cook. Okay. Now, here I'm going to add some cinnamon. Okay. A little cinnamon stick. We're going to stir that in. Okay. And got some cloves. This is going to be a very full spectrum curry. Very full flavored curry. Going to mix that in. Okay. And I've got some star anise. That's going in. Oh my God. It's starting to smell so good in here, it's ridiculous. I love Malaysian food. It's really beginning to glow on me and grow on me. Here we go. Get that curry paste cooking. Alright. Alright. Mix that around a little bit. Okay. Cardamom. Cardamom, the most desired ingredient in India for making curry, is cardamom, or cardamom, as they say. Alright. And all of it is just shining through. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Alright. Ah, this is so delicious. Okay, so we cooked this paste for about a minute, maybe 2. Okay, and now I'm going to start adding the beef. Okay, you could use stew beef, boneless country rib. Okay, I'm going to reduce the heat down to a medium high. Okay, there we go. This is about 2.5, 3 pounds of beef. I better reduce that to a medium. There we go. And it's going to cook in here. Soak up the flavors of the rendang. delicious. There we go. Oh, we're not done yet. Believe you me, we are not done yet. Okay. I'm going to get all that meat in here. All right, let that sit and stew for a second while I wash my hands. All right. I'm going to turn the heat up to a medium. Okay. I want to toss that beef in this curry. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, just wonderful. All right. Then I have some lemongrass. Another layer. Another layer of flavor. Ah, wonderful. Mix that in here. Let that cook for about a minute. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. All right, I'm going to reduce that to a medium again. Get that beef to settle in to the curry. Get it all down. Get it all down. And then I'm going to add coconut milk. Of course. Get that mixed in really good. Get that mixed in really good. All right. Here we go. Leaving it on medium for now as I mix in the flavors. Okay. The remainder of the beef stock, for which I will probably have to add a little extra beef stock as we go along, but that's okay. All right. We just let this blend together. All right, guys. So right here, I'm going to let this rendang simmer on a medium high for about 5 or 10 minutes until the meat is almost cooked, and then I'm going to add a couple of extra ingredients, and I'm going to lower the temp and put a cover on it and let it cook for a couple of hours, because all this lovely liquid that you see here is going to evaporate into the air and into the meat, and it's going to be delicious. Hang on tight. All right, guys, it's been cooking for about 5 minutes, maybe 8. The meat is almost cooked through. The chili that I used before, the soaked chili, is adding a lovely flavor, and now I'm going to add some lovely heat. All right. Chili flakes with the seeds to get a little heat into this curry. Okay. I do like a little heat. Okay. And that's going to blend in well. That's about a teaspoon of crushed flake with the seeds. So it's going to generate a little heat. And I'm going to let this cook for about another 2 minutes. I'm going to add a couple of final ingredients, and then we're going to let it simmer. Okay, guys. One final ingredient here, some fresh ground nutmeg into this curry. Okay. Nutmeg's very strong. I'm probably going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon right here. It's going to add a layer of flavor that is just delectable to this curry. There it is. All right, there it is. Mix that in. Some kaffir lime leaves. If you have fresh, wonderful. I didn't have fresh, but I had dried. That's wonderful. Oh, yeah. All right. And then guess what? Here's that golden brown coconut, karasik, okay, that we made before. Okay, that gets added into this curry. All right. Gonna break it up. Mix it in. It's going to work as a thickener. Oh, I can smell the kaffir lime leaves. Woohoo! All right. Now, We want to get that karasek in here. Karasek is going to add a lovely creamy flavor. Toasted coconut. Okay. I'm going to turn this down to low. Okay. I'm going to turn this down to low. I'm going to get that fond of the curry off the sides of the wok. A well-seasoned carbon steel wok. I think, in my opinion, the best thing to make this dish in. Okay. Those dried kaffir lime leaves are going to hydrate rather quickly. But I've got this on low. I'm going to continue scraping the fond. Oh, God. It smells so good in here, it's ridiculous. All right. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to let it cook on low for about 2 hours. Okay? And we'll be back. All right, guys. One final ingredient's going in, and that's a bay leaf. Heston Blumenthal does that with his beef rendang, and I like Heston Blumenthal. So in goes one bay leaf, and we'll be back in an hour and a half. All right, guys. Here it is. Beef rendang cooked after about 4 hours, and all the moisture is just about gone. All that coconut milk and all that beef stock has been evaporated and soaked up into the beef, and it's a nice thick sauce. And now I'm going to let it cook for about 30 more minutes to get, well, maybe not 30, but maybe 20 more minutes, okay, to get as much of this moisture out of the curry, okay, to turn this into a dry curry. Okay, so I'm going to cook this for about 10 to 30 minutes more on low, okay, to get all this excess moisture absorbed, to brown the meat a little bit further, and then we're going to have beef rendang. Look at this thick curry. This is so thick. My God, look at how thick this is. Almost all the moisture is gone. The white from the coconut milk is gone. The liquid from the beef broth is gone. Okay. There's a couple of kaffir lime leaves sticking out. And it basically looks kind of like a mud, but it's not. It's packed with flavor. So I'm going to flatten this out. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to let this cook another 10 or 15 minutes, maybe a little longer. Get as much of that moisture out to make this as dry a curry as I can. And then I'm going to plate some beef rendang. The meat is so tender, it's ridiculous. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, there you have it. Beef rendang, dried up curried, okay? Lovely chunks of beef, lots of spices, lots of herbs, lots of spices, served on this lovely banana leaf. And you can serve this with rice, fatty rice, or any other kind of side dish that you want, but I didn't feel like making rice. But right here is basically dried curry, okay, about 98 and 99% of the moisture, okay, dried from this curry into the beef. It's nice and tender. This is what encompasses curry. I added a little extra sugar because the sweetened coconut wasn't enough. And I added some red chili flake because the chili pods I had were full of chili flavor but not enough heat, so I added heat. But here it is, beef rendang. My dinner, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad you stopped by. I'll see you on the next video, and I hope you make this dish because this is lovely. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. I want to thank you for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. I hope you make this beef rendang. It's a delicious recipe. I'm truly getting enamored with Malaysian cuisine. So I hope you try this recipe. The recipe will be printed in the description box. And as usual, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.